Hello viewers, welcome back to Kolex TV, your go-to channel for everything happening across Nigeria. Before we start, if you're new here, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss our updates.
Tinubu denies genocide allegations. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has firmly rejected claims that Nigeria is experiencing a religious or ethnic genocide, describing such assertions as misleading, exaggerated, and harmful to national unity. Tinubu acknowledged Nigeria's serious security challenges, including banditry, terrorism, and communal clashes. However, he stressed that these do not amount to a coordinated or state-backed genocide against any religious or ethnic group. He argued that criminal violence affects Christians, Muslims, and traditional communities alike, depending on region and circumstance. FG makes tax ID mandatory for bank accounts from January 1, 2026. The federal government of Nigeria has confirmed that from January 1, 2026, all taxable individuals and businesses must present a tax identification number, or TIN, to open or operate bank accounts in the country. The policy is part of a broader effort to expand Nigeria's tax base, improve compliance, and strengthen revenue generation amid economic reforms. What the policy means: TIN will be compulsory for opening new bank accounts, operating existing accounts for taxable persons. Banks will be required to request customers' TINs, link TINs to bank account records, and report non-compliant accounts to tax authorities. The government stressed that banking access itself is not being abolished, but taxable income must be traceable. Burkina Faso released 11 Nigerian military personnel after unauthorized landing. A Nigerian Air Force C-130 military transport aircraft en route from Lagos to Portugal was forced to make an emergency landing at the Bobo Dioulasso airport in Burkina Faso after reporting a technical issue mid-flight. Burkina Faso's military authorities initially detained the 11 Nigerian military personnel on board, including crew and passengers, on the basis that the flight entered their airspace without prior authorization, calling it an unfriendly act. U.S. Congress to brief Trump on alleged killings in Nigeria. U.S. officials and members of Congress are preparing a high-level security and human rights briefing for President Donald Trump focused on alleged killings and widespread insecurity in Nigeria, a move that has intensified international attention on Africa's most populous nation. The briefing is expected to cover violence linked to terrorism, banditry, communal clashes, and religious tensions, as well as Nigeria's response to these threats. The briefing is happening because the following moves follows growing lobbying efforts by U.S.-based advocacy groups, reports from religious freedom and human rights organizations, claims that some communities, particularly in parts of northern and central Nigeria, are being disproportionately targeted. Some U.S. lawmakers have raised concerns that Nigeria's security crisis may involve religious persecution, failure of state protection, systematic violence against civilians. These claims are strongly disputed by the Nigerian government. In other news, Trump reportedly considering sanctions on Nigeria over human rights concerns. There are growing reports from U.S. political and diplomatic circles that figures aligned with President Trump are considering possible sanctions on Nigeria, citing concerns over human rights abuses, civilian killings, and alleged religious persecution. The discussions are said to be preliminary and under review, but they signal rising pressure on Nigeria from parts of the U.S. political establishment. What the sanctions discussion is about. According to U.S. lawmakers and advocacy groups pushing the issue, the concerns include alleged failure to protect civilians in conflict-affected regions, reports of mass killings linked to terrorism, banditry, and communal violence, alleged claims by some groups that religious minorities are disproportionately targeted. These allegations are strongly disputed by the Nigerian government. While no formal decision has been announced, analysts say the discussions may involve targeted sanctions against specific officials, travel bans or visa restrictions, limits on security assistance or arms sales, stronger human rights monitoring and reporting requirements.
broad economic sanctions against Nigeria as a country are considered unlikely, given Nigeria's strategic importance.
That's all for today's news roundup from Kolex TV. If you enjoyed these updates, subscribe to our channel for daily highlights, analysis, and exclusive behind-the-scenes sports stories and news from around the globe. Thanks for watching.